Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Gir lan gir. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Euzubillahimineşşeytanirracim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Devam gidin.
A powerful presence has claimed the rooftop, and its arrival has driven the villagers into open rebellion. The footage, posted on TikTok by Tati Catalina, captures something deeply unsettling. A massive, shadowy figure looming over the roof, unmoving, watching. Anyone who dares to approach is violently thrown back, as if struck by an invisible force, or perhaps paralyzed by pure terror.
¡Cójala, muchachos, cójala! ¡Hay una bruja, ve! ¡Mira, ve! ¡Pica, pica, pica cómo se mueve! ¡Ay, sí, vela, ve!
No one can get close. No one can reach the roof. The figure does not react, does not flinch, and does not acknowledge them at all. In desperation, the villagers begin hurling objects at it. Then, without warning, a deafening pop erupts, powerful enough to send them scattering in fear. Is this dark magic at work? A witch? Something far older and more sinister? Whatever it is, one thing is certain. This entity has left these villagers permanently scarred, and the roof it stands upon will never feel safe again. Horatio's security camera was never meant to capture this, but it did. Right in the center of the driveway, a shape begins to form, a shadow where no shadow should exist. You don't even need to slow the footage down to see it. The figure slowly rises, drifting upward in complete silence. Some will say it's just a bug on the lens, but anyone familiar with those videos knows better. This is different. The shadow is unnaturally dark, like light itself is being swallowed. And the way it moves, calm, deliberate, aware. This isn't random. This isn't natural. There's no fluttering, no erratic motion, just a steady ascent, as if it knows it's being watched. This is no insect. This is no trick of the camera. What you're seeing is a shadow demon, and for a brief moment, it crossed into our world. Two separate videos captured the same impossible sight above Phoenix, Arizona. A humanoid shape, floating. What is that? One witness asks in a Snapchat video posted in March of 2020. To this day, no one has an answer. The uploader explains they were standing in their backyard when the figure passed silently overhead. No sound, no warning. Just an all-black outline drifting across the sky. They describe what looks like wings, but they aren't moving. I see what they mean, but wings don't hover like that. There's no flapping, no motion. A jetpack? Maybe, but there's no exhaust. No trail, nothing. A drone? A weather balloon? Even a kite shaped like a human? All possible, yet none of them quite fit. And now, more than a year later, these eerie sky sightings over Phoenix remain unexplained. Whatever it was real. And the mystery remains unsolved. TikToker Smug Puppy is dealing with shadow figures once again, but this time, they've changed. Now, they have glowing red eyes. They're fast, silent, easy to miss, so watch carefully.
Door.
That one?
No, the door, bedroom door.
Oh.
With the dressing gowns behind.
Oh.
There's literally no space there, so...
Okay.
Keys!
Oh my...
She shows viewers the doorway. There's nothing behind it. Nothing at all. At least, Nothing she can see.
In there.
Just open the door and show them behind. It's just dressing gown.
Yeah.
Moments later, everything changes. Something moves. Something watches. And if this footage is real, then approaching that room would be the last thing I'd do.
Hey,
Say.
told ya!
Not until whatever's inside has been completely exorcised. Only then would that room be safe again. Look closely. There, standing behind the front door, is a tall figure draped in a black robe. And no, this isn't Halloween. It's massive, yet somehow barely visible. So faint you might convince yourself it's nothing at all. But it's there. I see it, and it stands perfectly still. For an entire minute. Watching. Waiting. There's no doubt about it. This place is haunted. YouTuber Tomcat0031 caught something on camera that should not have been there. A shadowy figure racing past a doorway on a floor that was completely empty. You don't need arrows or instructions to see it.
Right, this is filming now. Right, both me and Joe seen a shadow go across this room here. Bub! Somebody's in there. Mate, I tell you what, you're doing a good job.
Once it appears, you can't unsee it. The way it moves is deeply unsettling. There are no footsteps, no sound at all. It doesn't run or walk. It slides, as if it isn't touching the ground. Watch closely. First, a band of darkness drifts across the narrow crack to the left of the door. Then, almost immediately, a larger mass of blackness floods the right side of the doorway. The shape in the crack looks solid, deliberate, while the ladder nearby seems less like an object and more like a shadow being thrown by whatever just passed through. Then something even more disturbing happens. In that same crack on the left, the figure appears again, this time moving in the opposite direction. It's as if whatever entered the room didn't leave. It circled it. For a brief moment, the shifting light throws a shadow onto the far right wall, like a final trace of its presence. Whether this is something paranormal or not is still up for debate. But whatever moved through that room was very real, and it wasn't alone. Someone is watching you. This footage was in the video's description. The channel explains that Matt and Andy reunite for a happens. As the camera slowly pans toward the second floor, a dark figure slips across the upper hallway, barely visible in the shadows. Viewers in the comments have their own theories. Some believe the figure could be the spirit of a former patient or a staff member who never left. One commenter from Open Paranormal wrote, "I think you just caught some of the best paranormal activity I've ever seen. There's clearly no one around, but you can clearly see a shadow of someone up there." And honestly, we have to agree. This one feels real. If you're hunting for jinn, you'd better come prepared. The YouTube team HD Adam Paranormal enters a house rumored to be infested with these entities. And it doesn't take long before they realize they aren't alone. Their radio suddenly reacts, signaling that something is standing in the corner of the room. Even though no one is visible. As they continue moving through the haunted home, they come face to face with a shadowy figure lurking in the darkness. Then it vanishes.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Gir lan gir. Alttakine bak.
Trying to make contact, the team speaks out to whatever is there. That's when they hear it.
Duyuyor musun?
Duyuyorum abi.
İnşallah arkadaşlar mikrofona bu ses geliyordur.
A loud, unexplained bang echoes through the house. As they search for the source, another violent impact slams somewhere nearby. Then suddenly, their audio cuts out completely. Later on, a strange rolling sound creeps through the building, slow and deliberate, as if something unseen is circling them. It doesn't feel random. It feels playful, mocking. And then this.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Euzubillahimineşşeytanirracim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Tamam gidin.
Was this shadow figure responsible for everything that happened inside that house? Or was it just one of many? Because if you ask me, there wasn't just one presence there that night. There were multiple jinn, all active, and all watching. Ever try pulling an all-nighter inside a haunted house? Paranormal investigators, Dennis and Tim, the team behind Nerve Paranormal, decide to do exactly that, locking themselves inside a location with a long history of unexplained activity. They set up multiple cameras and leave a tape recorder running, hoping to capture whatever shares the space with them. It doesn't take long. A dark shape appears, barely visible, lingering in the corner of the room.
Стояла будто бы тень вот так в углу. Да? Я тебе что хочу сказать-то? Смотри. Смотри. Я эту фигню закрывал.
After positioning the cameras, they lie down and try to sleep. Almost immediately, something begins interfering with their equipment. First the camera, then the lights. One by one, the systems start to fail, as if something doesn't want to be recorded. Another camera catches it. Something slips into their room while they're asleep. You're probably wondering how anyone could sleep through that kind of noise. The truth is, they don't for long. There's nothing visible inside the room, but something is absolutely there.
Нет, вставай. Присаживайся.
And whatever it is, Dennis and Tim won't be getting any more sleep that night. Most of the time, when we catch movement out of the corner of our eye, we tell ourselves it's nothing, just our imagination. But what if it isn't? This clip was posted to the Ghosts subreddit by Kid Blast Double, and it immediately set Reddit on edge. The video shows a person stepping into their backyard with their dog. Everything seems normal until you look past them, toward the fence. A shadowy figure can be seen darting across the yard. It slips in behind a tree, and then it stops. It doesn't continue forward, it doesn't retreat, it just stays there. On closer inspection, the shape even appears to peek around the tree, something you can clearly see when the footage is slowed down. The top comment came from Redditor Dads for Sons, who said they watched the clip over and over again, adding that the slow-motion version gave them chills. Not everyone was convinced. Redditor Paul VS88 pointed out that the original poster, Big Pappy Thunder, later admitted he didn't expect anyone to notice the figure, or for the post to blow up with nearly 7,000 upvotes. He claimed the video was meant as a prank, something to fool a handful of people before taking it down. Others leaned into the paranoia. One user joked that the shadow people have him now and are controlling his Reddit account. Still, there was one strange detail that didn't quite fit. The movement peeking from behind the tree was never fully explained. Thunder himself suggested it might have been distant light reflecting from another yard, but even he dismissed the idea that it was part of the edited shadow. Real or fake, the video does its job. Because the next time you see something move out of the corner of your eye, you might stop and wonder if it was really nothing at all. Redditor ZZZ747 says their neighbor's CCTV camera picked up something they can't explain, and they're looking for answers. As you watch the footage, keep your eyes on the top right corner of the yard. Out of nowhere, a pale, smoky shape drifts into view. It slowly curls along the side of the house, clinging to the wall, and then vanishes completely. At first glance, it looks like smoke. But the way it appears and the way it disappears doesn't feel natural. There's no visible source, no trail. One moment it's there, and the next, it's gone. Watch it again. Commenters were quick to offer explanations. Some believe it's just someone vaping. Others suggest steam from a dryer vent. And honestly, it could be either of those things. But even so, there's something off about it. The timing, the sudden manifestation, the way it moves with purpose before fading away. Like it wasn't drifting, it was arriving. Whatever it is, it seems to come from nowhere and leave without a trace. So, what do you think? Harmless smoke? Or something that shouldn't be there at all? Bill and Lisa are dealing with something far more disturbing than the average argument. Inside their home, Bill keeps noticing movement, shapes where there shouldn't be any. Eventually, he decides to stop guessing and sets up an infrared camera system to see what's really there. What it captures is hard to ignore. In the dead of night, a thin, unnatural figure glides across a darkened doorway. No footsteps, no hesitation, just a smooth, silent movement. From another angle, the shape becomes clearer. Small, almost child-sized, but wrong, like an imp. It moves with intent, heading straight for the stairs. Moments later, it slips into their master bedroom. It isn't tall, but it looks dense, powerful, as if size doesn't matter. Then, a short time later, the figure appears again, this time racing down the stairs and straight out the front door. At first glance, this could be written off as special effects, but there's one detail that makes people pause. Infrared cameras are designed to detect heat. When something shows up as a deep purple, like this figure does, it indicates the absence of heat. In other words, a cold void shaped like a person. What makes it even more unsettling is Bill's claim that the figure didn't stop there. He says it followed him, even after he moved to an entirely new location. So the question is simple. After seeing this footage, would you believe him? While exploring a supposedly haunted professor's house, YouTuber Nighthawk's Paranormal captures something completely unexpected. It was first noticed by a sharp-eyed viewer named Salem Ali, who spotted a strange shadow forming in the doorway behind Danny. You might miss it at first, so let's slow it down. Keep your eyes locked on the doorway. What was that? Let's watch it again. The shadow moves fast, far too fast, and in a way that doesn't feel natural. At normal speed, it's almost impossible to detect. Nothing inside the house appears to be moving, and there's no obvious source that could cast a shadow like this. That's what makes it so unsettling. I can't explain what caused it, but whatever slipped through that doorway doesn't feel random or accidental. To me, it feels demonic. Saulo Brenner claims he captured a ghost on camera at an abandoned cemetery somewhere in Brazil. The footage comes from a CCTV camera pointed across the street, where where a shadowy figure can be seen moving through the darkness. At first glance, it looks convincing. A dark shape slips into frame, gliding just enough to make your stomach drop. But once you zoom in, the illusion starts to fall apart. The so-called apparition doesn't hold its shape. Instead, it breaks down into what looks more like motion blur, or a digital smear caused by the camera itself. The deeper you analyze it, the less it resembles anything human or paranormal. There's more. The date and timestamp on the footage appears distorted and inconsistent, raising even more red flags. It's the kind of detail you'd expect to be intact on untouched CCTV footage. But here, it looks wrong. Taken together, the evidence points away from the supernatural. The shadow, the blur, the corrupted timestamp. It all suggests the video was edited or glitched, not haunted. Creepy at first glance, yes. But this one isn't a ghost. It's a trick of the camera, not the dead reaching back. When you have video evidence from not one, but 3 different angles, it becomes much harder for skeptics to dismiss it as imagination. This clip was posted to the Ghost subreddit by a user named OneOcelot4. According to the uploader, his home security cameras captured something deeply unsettling inside his kitchen. He insists the window shutters were completely closed and no lights or appliances were running at the time. In the comments, he adds something even more concerning. He often feels sudden cold spots in the hallway, and his security system frequently activates on its own when no one is home. Whether you believe in the paranormal or not, the footage itself is difficult to ignore. For a split second, a large, dark shadow flashes through the kitchen, spilling over the entryway before vanishing just as quickly as it appeared. Blink, and you'll miss it. What makes this especially disturbing is that it wasn't caught on just one camera. All 3 cameras record the same moment, each showing the shadow streaking past from different angles. So what could possibly cause something like that? Commenters were quick to speculate. Redditor Mr. Muskwheat joked, "It's obviously a ghost, very harmless unless you are harmed. Good luck." Others suggested the shadow could have been cast by something outside the house. But Ocelot4 pushes back, repeating that the window shades were closed. So who do you believe? Is there a logical explanation? Or is this something that requires a medium, as another commenter suggested? Whatever the truth is, one thing's certain. I wouldn't be stepping foot in that kitchen anytime soon. When you step onto abandoned property, never assume you're alone. This video was uploaded to YouTube by Double Bins in January of 2008, and it's the kind of footage that makes you think twice before ever entering an abandoned house again. The clip follows a group of explorers approaching what they believe to be an empty home. But empty is the last word that applies here. The 2-story white house sits isolated in the countryside, its large, hollow windows staring out like vacant eye sockets. Even before they step inside, the place feels wrong. The front door is gone, wide open, as if inviting anyone foolish enough to enter. Inside, the house is a nightmare. Every room looks ravaged, as though something tore through the structure and left destruction in its wake. The oven door lies in the middle of the living room, ripped from its place and discarded like trash. As they move deeper inside, the person filming slowly scans upward. The ceiling opens to a window leading to the 2nd floor. That's when they realize they're not alone. A figure passes across the opening above them, clear, unmistakable, and watching. The cameraman immediately panics, and within seconds, both boys bolt, sprinting out of the house and across the open field without looking back. Whether what they encountered was a ghost or something far more dangerous and human. Either way, it's exactly the kind of thing you don't stick around to find out. This disturbing footage was captured back in 1989 by videographer Daniel Hobbit and later shared by the YouTube channel This Is the End. Decades later, the mystery surrounding it still hasn't been solved. As you watch, keep your eyes peeled for the black mass. You won't miss it. Hobbit had been invited into a house by a terrified couple who believed their home was haunted. While filming inside, he captured something chilling. A strange, shadowy figure lingering silently in the corner of the room. As the camera slowly pans, something even more disturbing appears. In the mirror, a dark shape briefly reveals itself, reflected behind him, as if whatever was in the room wanted to be seen. But only for a moment. According to the channel, the family moved out of the house not long after this footage was recorded. Since then, the video has convinced many viewers that it shows genuine paranormal activity. Some have even claimed they've experienced eerily similar encounters themselves. And considering this was recorded on VHS, long before modern CGI was accessible or common, it's hard to dismiss. The imperfections, the grain, the rawness, it all works against the idea of a hoax. For me, this feels like real paranormal activity caught on tape. But what do you think? A mysterious shadow creature was recently caught on a dash cam in Falmouth, Maine, and it's the kind of sighting that deserves a closer look. In the footage, an all-black shape explodes into view, darting directly in front of the vehicle for less than a second, then vanishing completely. Blink, and you'll miss it. What makes this so unsettling is the speed. Whatever it is moves far faster than any animal should be able to, crossing the road in a way that feels unnatural, almost intentional. I'm honestly at a loss trying to explain it. It could be a wild cat caught at just the wrong angle. It could be some kind of drifting mist distorted by motion. Or it could be something else entirely, something that doesn't belong. If sightings like this keep coming from the same stretch of road, I wouldn't be surprised if the area has a dark history of its own. Haunted or not, I'll definitely be watching closely for more shadow figure footage coming out of this part of Maine. After you've investigated enough haunted locations, it's only a matter of time before you come face to face with a shadow figure. YouTuber Dennis from Dark Life experiences exactly that while exploring a haunted house alone. For a brief moment, something reveals itself. Did you see it? A dark shape slips across the room, unmistakable, yet impossible to focus on. It's there just long enough to register, and then it's gone. No sound, no trace. As if it was never meant to be seen for more than a heartbeat. Whatever crossed that room didn't disappear. It withdrew. To me, it feels deliberate. Like this entity isn't ready to show its true form yet. For now, it reveals itself only as a shadow, watching, waiting. The Central State Insane Asylum in Indianapolis is a place buried in secrets. This footage was published to YouTube by DeHolmes, 12,345 back in October of 2006. And while it may look like just another orb video at first, don't click away yet. Most orbs caught on camera are faint, dust-like, easy to dismiss. This one isn't. At the end of a dark walkway behind a metal fence, a large glowing orb hangs motionless in the air. It doesn't flicker. It doesn't drift randomly. It hovers. Then, slowly and deliberately, it begins to move to the right. The man filming notices it and immediately starts backing away, clearly shaken. Commenters were split. Some were convinced, saying, "This is what a legitimate orb looks like." Others argued it was nothing more than a reflection or stray light. But there's something most people miss. While your attention is locked on the glowing orb, something else appears. At the very beginning of the video, a shape briefly peeks out from a doorway. It's subtle, easy to overlook. Watch it again. Do you see it? Two unexplained figures. One short clip, just 14 seconds of footage. And yet, it's more than enough to make one thing clear. This asylum isn't empty, it's active. When a man in New York noticed his dog barking nonstop throughout the night, for no obvious reason, he decided to investigate. Suspecting something was wrong, he set up a CCTV camera to see what was disturbing his pet. What the camera captured explains everything. The footage was posted to Reddit by Ujay Hood and recorded just after 11 p.m. on January 29th, 2017. In the video, a strange figure can be seen hurrying across the snow-covered yard. It appears to be carrying a flashlight, the beam bouncing as it moves. But here's where things get unsettling. Although the figure is walking upright on two legs, it's difficult to tell if it's actually human. Halfway across the yard, the shape simply disappears. The body is gone, but the flashlight continues to bob up and down, moving forward as if something invisible is still carrying it. That detail alone has sparked intense debate. Some believe the vanishing figure is nothing more than a camera artifact, a blur, a fade, a trick of shadows and light. Others aren't so sure. Those leaning toward a more sinister explanation point out the figure's glowing eyes, its thin, spindly frame, and its unnatural movements. One commenter noted something especially disturbing. After the figure passes through the frame, the background is never obstructed, as if nothing physical was ever there at all. Some users suggested checking for footprints in the snow. Others admitted they wouldn't want to know the answer. Whatever this was, it doesn't make sense. This haunted house doesn't just feel occupied, it looks that way. The footage was published by A Sip of Fear in January of 2022, and during their investigation, something unsettling reveals itself in plain sight. After setting up cameras throughout the home, paranormal activity begins almost immediately. A wardrobe door is seen slowly opening, then closing on its own. Later, a sudden, violent bang echoes through the house. Causing the investigator to jump in shock. But the most disturbing moment comes in another room. A stationary camera captures the reflection of a figure in the glass door of a shelf. It doesn't move. It doesn't rush past the frame. It simply stands there, watching. Moments later, the wardrobe door begins opening and closing again, over and over, as if responding to something unseen. Is this spirit trying to communicate? Or is she warning them to leave her alone? Either way, whatever is inside that house isn't hiding anymore. The Stroud House in Wake Forest is said to be haunted by a shadow figure, and the YouTube team, Just Ghouly Things, believes they may have caught it on camera. Watch closely, because it doesn't reveal itself just once. As Becca steps into the kitchen, the first shadow appears. It's subtle, easy to dismiss if you aren't paying attention. But then there's another one. This second figure is far taller, unnaturally so. At first, it's tempting to explain it away as Becca moving backward and blocking the light at a strange angle. But the proportions don't feel right. The shadow stretches higher than it should, looming in a way that doesn't match any human shape in the room. If that towering form isn't just a trick of the light, then it isn't Becca at all. And if what they captured really is a shadow entity, these ghouls may want to leave while they still can, because encounters like this rarely end well. The abandoned boys are deep in a forest rumored to be haunted, an area locals say should never be visited after dark. As they push through tall grass, they reach a strange, open clearing and miss something standing right in front of them. At exactly 12 seconds, a figure in blue robes is visible, motionless, silent, and far too close for comfort. Somehow, none of them notice it. Then, just 14 seconds later, the impossible happens. The same figure has moved, not walked, not crept. It's suddenly somewhere else, now facing them directly, as if it teleported. In what many believe to be a witch sighting caught on camera, the woman appears hunched over, her robes pulled tightly over her head. She moves slowly, deliberately, like she's conserving energy, or waiting for the right moment. If this isn't one of their friends, and there's no indication that it is, then whatever they encountered may not have been harmless. Some believe a curse doesn't require touch at all, that simply seeing her, being seen by her, might be enough. And that could explain something else entirely. The footage itself rapidly degrades, losing clarity and quality, as if the camera couldn't handle what it was recording. Or worse, as if the image itself was never meant to survive. Whatever stood in that clearing wasn't just watching them. It may have followed them out. Check your door. There might be something waiting just on the other side. TikToker. Do You Believe 2 shared this unsettling clip, and it's hard to shake once you've seen it. Through the frosted glass panes of their front door, what looks like a figure can be seen crouched low, hiding just out of clear view. Whatever it is, it's close. Uncomfortably close. Even the dogs inside the house go on high alert, barking and reacting to something they can sense but can't see clearly. And then, without warning, it's gone. If you think it simply stepped away, watch it again. The way the shape disappears isn't natural. It doesn't move out of frame. It dissolves, almost like it melts into the glass itself. Commenters were just as disturbed, trying and failing to come up with a logical explanation. No one could agree on what it was, only on one thing. Whatever was outside that door did not feel human. If there's one piece of advice to take from this, don't open the door, because some things aren't knocking. They're waiting for an invitation.